Jackson State has been killing it in the portal, and they continue to kill it with players who have real stats, real numbers at real schools that have done real damage in college, while also returning a ton of players, including the quarterback and one of the most explosive players in all of the SWAC and Travis Terrell. Is this year's Jackson State team better than last year's team on paper? And even which won the Celebration Bowl, the national championship, and better than the teams that Deion Sanders brought through Jackson, Mississippi? Let's talk about it because this is interesting. After the bumper, stay tuned. What is going on, everybody? What is going on, everybody? My name is JeffLightsyJr. This is Victor Formation, brought to you right here on YouTube, X, Facebook, wherever you get your content, LinkedIn, wherever you get your content, I'm there. Be sure to hit that thumbs up button, like, share, subscribe, and notification bell because I upload all the time. Now, Jackson State, they're the HBCU national champions. Jackson State are the reigning SWAC SWAC champions. Jackson State are reigning SWAC East champs. Jackson State had a banner year in the second year under head coach TC Taylor. And they ain't done. They ain't done, and the rest of the SWAC is taking notice. What do I mean? I'm going to show you that here in a second and what FAMU's coach had to say about the Tigers. But the Tigers received another commitment last night from a safety from Tennessee State. Tennessee State's roster has been ravaged after head coach Eddie George left to go to be the head coach of Bowling Green. So a bunch of players from Tennessee State were looking for new homes. Jackson State has already scooped up 2 starting linemen from Tennessee State, and now they went out there and got themselves a DB, 6'1", 205, from Memphis, Jordan Helton. Jordan Helton, once again, was a part of that TSU team that won double-digit games, that TSU team that was in the FCS playoffs, that TSU team that was just an amazing team for Coach Eddie George, but a bunch of guys looking for new homes. Jackson State has now scooped up 3 guys off one of the best teams in all of FCS just the last year to come be a part of the reigning, defending HBCU national champions. And so before Hilton committed, I actually got a phone call from my buddy. He know who he is. Shout out to you. He called me down there at Jackson, and he said, we're about to get this DB from Tennessee State. We pretty much are wrapping up on everything, and we are better than last year. I was like, hold on, dog. Hey, my dog. Better than last year? You do know what you did last year, right? Like, you do know that you ran through folks. You won a championship. You do know you was one of them ones, right? Like, you just had a parade for being one of them ones. He said, bro, not only are we better than last year's team, we're better than the teams that Deion brought through here. And for some people nationally, that could be like sacrilegious. Now, granted, Deion's teams never won the Celebration Bowl, by the way. Deion's teams have never won a bowl game, by the way. Let's just put it out there. I'm just saying that. But nonetheless, that's like sacrilegious for someone to say, someone who would know even for somebody who would know, say, we're not only better than the team that won last year, we're better than those teams that Prime brought in, even though the team last year is probably better than some of those teams because they actually won the Celebration Bowl. Nonetheless, he told me that. And I was like, it's a bold statement, bro. So I started going through the JSU roster, not for last year, the current JSU roster, because I was busy all spring, so it really wasn't following along heavily during the spring. And I forgot, like, how many dudes are still on the team. Like, you're bringing back your starting running back. You're bringing back your starting quarterback. Starting running back's Irv Mulligan. He's off to the NFL. Shout out to Irv, and shout out to Steve Weish, giving a lot of guys love. Irv was recently on the NFL Network talking about his time winning SWAC Offensive Player of the Year and being having one of the single greatest seasons as a running back for JSU, and that's a historic program that includes, Walter Payton. Nonetheless, even though you're losing your starting running back, but you're bringing back Travis Terrell. Like, Travis Terrell can play, right? You're bringing back Ahmad Miller. Ahmad Miller can play. Bring back Desmond Moultrie. Desmond Moultrie can play. So, yeah, you're losing Irv, and I'm not acting like that's not a big loss. Like, Irv is the dog. But you got a lot of dudes. Like, you still got a lot of dudes. You're bringing back your starting quarterback, Jacoby Morgan, who's getting a chance to start for multiple years. Your Celebration Bowl winning quarterback, who I think can take his game, who still has room to grow, can take his game to another level. Bringing him back. You're bringing back weapons like Kobe Paul, Fabian McCray, Rico Powers, all out on the outside. Like, huh? And then, yes, you lost some linemen up front, including like Evan Henry. But you brought in, like I just said, 2 starting linemen from one of the best teams in the FCS at Tennessee State. You brought in 2 of those guys to JSU. Huh? And then, yes, you lost Robert McDaniel, some of these guys on the defense side of the ball, Philip Webb, Robert McDaniel. Like, these dudes were key contributors to you winning a national championship. But then you go out and get starters once again from Tennessee State, and you're developing guys. You go out and get a player from Mississippi, from Jackson, born in Jackson, that played at Mississippi State, right? Like, you're replacing them with high quality, high value players who have played some at higher levels, at the FBS level. And it's one thing, like, I know in the past we've done some of these and we've based like what we think the guys can do at JSU based on, their credentials, right? Whether that's, the recruitment, the recruiting rankings, what they should have been able to do, the fact that they were in an LSU weight room and stuff like that. And that's all cool because a lot of it's panned out. But now they're bringing in dudes that are like proven at the collegiate level, not just like dudes you're projecting to be good. No. These are guys that I've actually seen play in college. These are guys that I already know how good they are at this level. These are guys that I've actually have tape on. And they're coming to play for a team that's already loaded. And they're staying another year and not leaving the team that they won a national championship with. Like, that is the difference between JSU and maybe some of the other programs that are taking place across the SWAC, across the MEAC, so on and so forth. Because the JSU guys are proven. Like, they have tape, they have film. They were able to retain these guys. Whether it's Jeremiah Williams, these guys, Rico Powers, these guys, Kobe Paul, these guys, Jacoby Morgan. They were able to retain these players when most FCS programs lose their best players. Like, they're able to retain theirs unless they run out of eligibility and they're off to try to make a professional career. And that, to me, is the difference and why I can see like this team being special again, like this team really making some noise again, and this team clearly being the favorite in the SWAC and just overall to win the Celebration Bowl again. Like, that is, I mean, kudos to JSU, kudos to their guys for being able to do this. And like I said, it took me really to run down the roster on my homie to after he told me that, to be like, dang, he's right. Like, this roster might be better than whatever Deion ever put up. And I mean, there's some dogs Deion brought. Obviously, you had Travis and Shador, Aubrey Miller. You brought in Evan Henry. Like, you had players. Well, and Malachi Wideman and all these dudes. But these dudes are right there, if not better. These dudes are literally right there, if not better. And I want to play for you a soundbite from Coach Colsey of FAMU talking about, and this is why I talk about retention, keeping the Jeremiah Williams, keeping the Kobe Pauls, keeping the Rico Powers. This is how you're able to do it. You're able to do it because of what KC 1400 and those guys as a collective are doing. So let's take a listen. This is James Colsey, the head coach over at FAMU, talking about, essentially trying to urge the FAMU fan base and the FAMU alumni to do exactly what JSU's doing. Let's take a listen.
Last 3 or 4 years, and I'm just going to put this out there, but for the last 3 or 4 years, one team has determined who won the SWAC championship. That's Jackson State. And Jackson State has a collective full throttle. They have a collective full throttle. And I mean, like, so they, we won the national championship in 2023, and we were slowly but surely trying to get our collective going. Jackson State won it this past year. Their collective is full throttle. Like, it is full throttle. They don't want to lose. They didn't want to lose anybody, and they went full throttle. And I mean, that's you correct if I'm wrong. That's what happened. So, in our conference, right? It is going to be, and I don't want to piss off any other teams, but I mean, the fact is that Florida A&M and Jackson State, that game is potentially, which has been the last 4 years, right? That's been who determined who won it.
So yeah, I mean, he's not wrong. He's absolutely right, and that's how championships are won. That's how championship teams are built. That's how championships are won, and that's how sustained success is. I mean, how success is able to be sustained by going out there, acquiring the talent, developing the talent, displaying the talent on the field, and then after the season's over, being able to retain said talent. Retain said talent while also acquiring what? More talent. Acquiring better players, good players, even better players, or guys to replace the guys that you lose. Well, that's something you're always going to lose some to the portal, but would you lose, whether it's to the portal or to the pros or whatever the case may be? That's what JSU's been able to do. And that's why I'm getting phone calls saying that this year's team is better than the team that just won a national freaking championship. This year's team is better than the team who has one player who's going to be the number 2 overall pick, I think, in the draft by the Cleveland Browns. That's Travis Hunter. And another player who will be another first-round pick in Shedeur Sanders. Shout out to JSU, man. I mean, the Tigers keep on rolling. I mean, this is awesome, man. This is awesome to see. I was looking at that roster, and I just don't see how. I don't see many teams beating them. If Jacoby Morgan is able to take a step up, which I believe he's able to do, or even if he plays the same, but I believe, the purpose of playing is to get better. And, they brought in quarterbacks to challenge Jacoby, right? They brought in a guy from FIU. Obviously, McCoy is there. And they brought in the guy from FIU was like, yo, I'm coming there to be the starter. And guess what? Portal. He's in the portal. He's back in the portal. Because guess what? He got there and seen, this dude Jacoby Morgan is the real deal. Oh, this dude Jacoby Morgan making things happen. And obviously, I'm not the sure thing starter that I thought I was going to be coming from FIU. So that tells me Jacobian's doing all the right things to continue to be a better player. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Is this year's JSU team better than the team we just saw win the national championship and better than some of those Deion Sanders teams at JSU? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Once again, my name is JeffLightsYJr. This is the Victor Formation Sports Show right here on JeffLightsYJr. YouTube, Facebook, wherever you get your content. Do me a favor, hit that thumbs up button, like, share, subscribe, and notification bell. Thank you guys for tuning in. See you next time. Peace.